Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to my show, Earth to Self. I'm Ashley Michelle. So nice to have you here. Let's talk about grieving expectations and grieving your dreams. That is very painful. I have talked to many people in my life through work, just help guiding them and helping give advice, or even just as a friend, just listening. And so many of us are in places in our life that we never expected to be. We did not expect our life to be like this. Now we've got this grief and this pain that we carry around that hurts tremendously by not letting go. Honestly, that's what I think. I truly believe that when you're grieving with something, you have to radically accept it and you got to let it go. We had this idea in our head for so long, right? Like we had this idea of who we were going to be, what we were going to do, how our life would look in our head for so long. And when that doesn't come true, or you look back in life, because there's a certain point that you get to life and you look back and you're like, I'm not where I'm. Actually, multiple points. I've done it multiple times in my life. You look back and you're like, I'm not where I was supposed to be. I'm not at all close to where I thought I was going to be in my life, or this didn't happen the way I thought it was going to happen, or I didn't complete this yet. What am I doing? I completely got off course, or this is not the journey I even wanted at all. And when you do that for so long, you've literally tied this incredible knot of dream into your body and into your future. Now that you have to unwind that, that's painful and it hurts tremendously. I mean, I just think about like my dreams, my kids' dreams, the dreams I had for my kids, my friendships I thought I was going to have forever, relationships that I've had that I thought were going to last but didn't last. They didn't end up happening. And all of us have gone through something like that. These things are so important to us, and we tied them up. We put them on that pedestal. We built this dream of them, this vision. And then you look back. It's heart-wrenching. Like I honestly don't even have words for it. And then in today's era, like with social media especially, you get to see other people's happy, right? You get to see they're happy, not them happy, they're happy, as if it was a something you could grab, something that you could just grasp and take for yourself. However, it's them being happy. It's not something you can grab from them, but it looks like an object. It looks like something you can go and take for you. We assume this is what we should be. We assume that this is what we should be doing. And honestly, it's not a fair comparison. It's not a fair comparison for yourself at all. Who knows what that person has gone through, and they're only giving you your positive, right? And I know we've all heard this, like we're seeing them at their best, and especially when we're at our worst. However, it doesn't stop us, right? It doesn't stop us from feeding it to ourselves again and again and again. And then we still continue to get caught up in their happy, thinking that we should be there. We should be with them. And how is that a fair comparison to you? That is not a fair comparison. It is truly robbing you of every bit of joy that you have. And I'm here to remind you to stop, right? These are unrealistic expectations on top of the ones that you already had. You had already created these expectations for your friendships, these expectations for your relationships, these expectations for your own self that you haven't met. And now you're looking at other people saying, I should be like them. And that's not fair at all for you. And what is crazy is we are conditioned throughout our life to think that these expectations are normal. Many of us haven't learned how to decipher between an expectation and a standard, an expectation and a boundary. We're just constantly expecting others to fulfill their part of our dream. I'm just going to take a quick pause and think about that. Like, I just want you to think about that. We have constant expectations of others to fulfill our dream, on how they're going to behave in our dream, in our vision. We have no control over that. God, that is, it's painful. Like, I'm just talking about pain constantly in this episode, I guess. It is so painful to realize you have no control over others over and over again, wanting them to act a certain way, behave a certain way, and be a certain way, and to be in your dream and in your vision. And they have their own. They have their own fight, their own expectations, their own boundary standards, dreams, visions. They have their own that they're fighting. And they might be looking at you like, why aren't you behaving the way I expected in my dream, in my vision? But we're conditioned to think that these are normal. And it's normal to have these thoughts, but it's not okay to behave this way. That's the key. So it might be normal to have those thoughts. Like, I want those things. I know that I have these expectations, but it's not okay to continue that behavior. And I'm not saying you can't accomplish these dreams. I'm not saying that you can't have these visions or you can't put expectations out there, but putting expectations on others, I'm trying to think of a good analogy and I can't even think of one, but putting expectations on others is just going to end up in failure because you cannot control them. You can't control how much they're going to be consistent, how much they're going to show up for you, how much they're going to be loyal to you, how much they're going to love you, how much they're going to, sacrifice for you. You can't control any of that. And I'm just saying, if it doesn't help you heal or make you happy in your mind and in your body and in your spirit, then we got to let it go. You're going to have to grieve it. You're going to have to grieve those dreams, those expectations. You're going to have to grieve all of those things you thought you were going to have in life. That love, that relationship. You're going to have to grieve not being able to have those children you wanted. You're going to have to grieve not being able to find the love of your life. You're going to have to grieve that your mother was not able to see you walk down the aisle. You're going to have to grieve that your marriage did not work out. You're going to have to grieve that you weren't able to be that mother that you thought you were going to be. And you weren't able to provide the life for yourself that you thought you were going to, or for your children. You weren't able to accomplish the dreams. You weren't able to become the doctor, the dancer, the veterinarian, the business owner. You weren't able to become those things. And maybe by grieving it, you will be able to come back to it, reestablish it, realign it with where you are today, realign it with where you got off in your journey, with that wrong road that you took, realign it with that so that way you can get back on track. Without grieving it and without radical acceptance, right? So radically accept it, that it's not wrong. It's not right. But it is. It is happening, and it is where you are. It is what is happening to you in your life. That allows you to grieve it, which allows you to either move on and create a new dream, or to realign that dream with where you are and redefine what it means to you. Recreate it. That idea of the perfect life, the perfect relationship, we see them, and not everyone gets to have all of them, but we see them. We see them on the media. We see them on TV and on social media. We see them in magazines. We see them on billboards. We might even see them in our real life. And those can be wants that you still have. Please go for them. But I need you to step back and grieve what you thought it was going to look like. Is that still going to work in your life? Because I know that some of the goals and dreams that I have for myself when I was in high school, when I was in my early 20s, even when I was in my late 20s, even when I was in my early 30s, some of those goals don't align anymore. And I'm still carrying them around. They're still hurting me. and they don't align with the life that I built off track. But I don't want to give up that off track life that I built. I don't want to give up everything I've already built, but I do need to kind of maybe knock down a few buildings. I need to kind of maybe reestablish that concrete foundation because it's faulty. And then that way maybe I can have some of those dreams, or build new ones. But some of those don't align with who I am anymore. I had this dream when I was younger. I wanted to be a choreographer. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to be on MTV. I wanted to create dances and do all that. Well, that dream doesn't align with me anymore. I have 4 kids. I'm a single mom. There's no way I can fit this into my lifestyle now, and I'm almost 40. So how am I going to fit that in, and very out of shape? And so how am I going to fit that in to my life right now? I got to let that go, and I got to reestablish a new dream. Maybe it could even still include dancing. Maybe it could still include being a dancer and creating dances. But I got to reestablish that dream and I got to grieve that. That was in my soul. That was in my heart. It still makes me sad to this day when I think about it. I let myself be sad. Let yourself be sad. And then remind yourself again. Let yourself be sad when you think about it. And then remind yourself, it's okay. I'm working on a new one. This is going to allow space for new and allow you to step into that gratitude for the life that you have already built, even if it was off track. Even if it's not the life that you thought you were going to have, but you are going to be so hateful if you're not grateful. Oh, that's a good one. I need to put that on a shirt. But you're seriously going to be resentful, angry, and you will not have the gratitude that you literally need in your heart and in your soul to be happy. We can enjoy our life if we're not grateful for it. I'm gonna just keep it 100 with you. Gratitude has changed my life so much. It allows me to be present. It allows me to enjoy everything around me and see how far I've come, even if it's not the life I thought I was going to have. And I want that for you. I want you to be able to grieve the life that you thought that you were going to have, your expectations, your past dreams, your current dreams, or just grieve it. Let it go. And then start rebuilding. One of the best ways to do that is to start having gratitude. You know what? I'm grateful. This isn't like I've never owned a home. So this isn't the home that I want. But I'm so grateful for this space. This space is very small. But I'm so grateful for it because I was able to raise my kids here on a budget. I was able to put them in good schools. I'm so grateful for this space. And I get to be grateful for what I already have. I worked really hard for this. I work hard for it every day. And you know how they say, if you don't change it, you're choosing it. Well, I can't really change this, but I'm changing other things outside of it. But I could still be grateful because I'm choosing it. I have to choose it at this moment. I have to choose this. I have to choose being a single parent. I can't do anything about that. But I'm working on things to change the environment that I have. But I have to choose the struggle of, I have to choose being a single parent. But I'm grateful that I'm able to still thrive as a single parent in this space, even though it's small and the kids are outgrowing and all the things, right? I could go down the rabbit hole of the negative, but I'm grateful. And because of that, I get to keep building more dreams, more beautiful dreams. And you deserve that too. You get to have those dreams. You get to have those wants. And I want you to set standards and boundaries, not expectations of others. I want you to establish those expectations and boundaries for yourself, the standard for yourself, right? I want you to give a standard for yourself, what you will expect, what you will allow from others. But to expect them to be who you want them to be, to expect them to stay and to expect them to act a certain way, to be a certain way, it's going to end up in pain every single time. You cannot put that on other people. Your dream and your vision and your happiness are yours and yours alone.